actually on my lunch break at work. So this is a sober talk, actually. But I was meditating and just realized, I was a hardcore, just like most people growing up. It's just the way this world teaches you a see it before you believe it kind of person. Show me it, prove it, teach me, show me. What do you got? Show it to me kind of guy. Oh, you say this is how it is? You create your own reality? Show it to me, prove it. But this is took whew, I was always logical, scientific mind, and researched kind of stuff. I wouldn't just close it off. But so it took me to prove it to myself that your beliefs are more than what you thought they were, that your beliefs actually affect your reality and not how you might think they affect your reality. They actually create and are your reality. That is something that I could not get behind. You could tell me that day in and day out. I'd be like, prove it, prove it. Anyway, the universe knew this, so they set up my life. Many segments of my life were just there just to get this point across. So I can look back now and be like, yeah, it took me like 12 years. Slowly, incrementally, day after day. Synchronicities. First, seeing them and be like, Then be like, huh. And now there's so many synchronicities, I just don't even pay attention to them anymore. Slowly teaching myself year after year that this really is the case. Because that's the kind of person I was. If I didn't prove it to myself that it was true, I would have never got behind it, believed that. I would have just went somewhere else. My old beliefs were just, the natural beliefs that you kind of come apart. We live here on this planet. No one really knows what's going on. You're succumb to luck and fate and happenstance and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Not anymore. I finally made full circle. It took me about 10 to 12 years to finally, fully say I completely believe that your thoughts and beliefs create your reality. Where before, a year ago, 85% believe like there's something going on here. 90% like, yeah, this is the case. I just haven't fully proved it to myself. 5 years ago, I'm researching this stuff and trying to figure it out. 8 years ago, you know, drugs and stuff, and figuring out maybe there's something. Trying to get into music and guitar, or I was already into it a little bit. Figuring out there's something more to this reality, but that's it. And before that, completely dense. But that's how long it took me to make myself believe, because I had the belief structure so firmly set, like most people do. There's nothing wrong with it. To see it before you believe it, you have to prove it to me that something's true. We live in this hard, touch it, feel it, knock it, fuck it kind of reality. You prove it to me that it's true. That's the belief system I had growing up. Most people do, of some sort of belief system structure like that. And it took me many, many years to finally knock that down and say, no, I finally proved it to myself that my beliefs do create my own reality. And I can't go back now that I finally believe it. So from the 12 years ago, prove it to me. Universe had to prove it to me through life experience. And it took 12 years or so. I say 10, 12, I don't know. Could be 14, could be 9. It's somewhere around there. Lots of years of me not giving up on it, but long hiatuses of knowing about the stuff, but not really practicing it anymore. And then getting back into it, but not really meditating anymore, because maybe it's not really what I think it is, or there's something going on here, but I can't figure it out. And I got to prove it to myself that this is real, and I have not done that yet. But now, 2026, February, what is it, 16th? About to start 17th, I think is spring start. I can't remember. Right on the new start here, I finally believe that your beliefs create your reality, and that is a belief that needed to be shown and then adopted. And it's too hard to adopt right away. Most people, unless you're really gullible or you really trust the person who's talking to you, I'm like, just You've lived with them 20 years and they've never said anything that wasn't right. Someone can tell you this and you're not going to believe it. This is why the gurus and the teachers that sit up in front of people from like the 80s, like Abraham's been doing this from the 80s. Esther, she's still doing it today. Daryl, been doing it just as long, from the 70s, 80s, or 80s and 90s, maybe not 70s, but there were people in the 70s, I'm sure. Sitting in front of groups of people telling them that they create their reality in their own way, the way that their experience has shown them. And what happens? They get bigger and bigger groups of people every year. Same people come back year after year after year because they know that the information, that there's something there, but they just can't get it going in their own life to prove it to them that it's real. But while they're in the presence of these people, God damn it, they know it's real. And then they leave and it starts to fade and they go back their day-to-day business and they go right back to it. What happens is they get stuck on the track of using their teacher, their guru, as, their permission slip to feel hope and feel good and feel like they're on to something. And some people are there just to learn and actually leave. But most people get stuck there. It's just a cycle of groups of people that just sit in front of one person for years. And I did this, but I didn't go out to the places. I just did it online through the internet. Just video after video after video after video. And I just couldn't. I knew something was there, but I couldn't prove it to myself enough to where I was like, yeah, I believe this. The way I believe, like, I'm a human, or I can walk, or I can breathe. The way that I can believe I can stand up. The way that I believe I can talk when I want to, or move my arm. That kind of belief, But finally, here we are. I finally completely changed the belief structure. And I finally fully believe, 110%. I know that your thoughts create your own reality. It took me many, many years. So if you're getting into this stuff and it's just not working out for you, or you're not doing it seems like you're not, just relax. It's tricky because we are the thoughts. We're thinking thoughts, and the thoughts are thinking thoughts. We're in a sea of thoughts, a morass of thoughts. Everything's thoughts. So it's like a tautology, It's if I'm using that right, doesn't matter. So it's tricky to figure yourself out, It's like if you're a fish in water and you're one of the fishes that never go up close to the surface. It's just an analogy, but presumably you don't know you're in water. It's just the air that you breathe. It's just the existence that you live in. It doesn't feel like anything until you jump out that surface and then get back into where you're like, oh, it's just hard to learn. So I just want to put that out there so people who maybe come across this information, everyone's coming across this information. It's been coming around forever, for thousands of years, but now it's finally coming more into the mainstream. But watch out, because what happens is, and it's already happened and happening, and it's already happened, is groups of people come onto the information, hordes of them. And it's like fucking Furbies or Tamagotchis or a new TV show or a new fad, and they dumb it down, kind of like how 60s and 50s and all that early rock and roll on the stages, raw, no one really knew what was going on, it was just raw music. And then now you have American Idols, 10,000 different American Idol shows where they funnel all that talent and hope into these corridors that kills it. All right. And that's what happens to this. Now, you can't kill this, but it's going to become a fad, Oh, love and light. Oh, I'm jumping timeline. Oh, God, I could just I can just see it now. And where people, they want to believe it. They think they believe it, but they just knocked it down to a fad. And I guess having a fad of love and light and recreate your own reality is better than other fads. But they will stick there forever and never know that they didn't actually figure it out. That's just what happens. It's just what happens. So this is a sober talk. So I will not call it a weed talk. I will call it sober talk. Doesn't sound as cool. Is there another way? Weed talk? Clean talk. Maybe clean talk.